Welcome back to the Killer Media Podcast, your home for all things horror, entertainment, and movie. I'm Tim. This is Nick. Welcome back once again. Today is all about Alien Earth, episode 4, large discussion. There's a lot to talk about.
We have questions and questions that were answered, but questions that were not answered.
And even the questions that were answered led to more questions.
Yes. So this is going to be about episode 3 and 4. There's a trailer out for episode 5.
Fuck! I never turned my mic on.
We're leaving that in.
We could.
So funny. All right. Back to it. Episode 3 and 4. And then the next episode that we will be discussing after this episode will be episode 5. And I feel like our answers might not even be like our questions won't be.
They're
answered.
still not going to be.
Because that episode seems like it's going to be the flashback of what happened on the Utani ship.
It's all... Because in the beginning, we said to ourselves, why... We thought it was budgeting, why we couldn't see what happened, all the carnage. But no, we are going to get that.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
gonna
glad.
give it to us.
It feels like it's going to be like pretty straightforward, like an alien movie,
Right.
but in an episode.
Right, which is awesome. Pure,
We
non-stop
need it.
action for an hour.
They
Yeah.
teased us at the very beginning. I really
They
like
did.
the crew and the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and it's just pretty much the straight up callbacks to everything in the first Aliens.
So, Alien Episode 3, Metamorphosis. We pick up right where we left off with Episode 2. We had Hermit getting dragged down by the Xenomorph, right? And then that segues into just how intelligent the aliens are, the Xenomorph specifically. So, basically, the Xenomorph was using Hermit to get to Wendy for some reason. And even in Episode 4, we still don't know why, but we have an idea of why.
And who knows if Wendy even... We have no clue what Wendy even actually knows.
We have no idea.
She doesn't even 100% know.
Right.
She doesn't even know really what the language is saying
Right.
of what we hear.
So-
it's weird.
So yeah, it's been established that Wendy can actually hear the aliens, I guess, in their language speaking. They have a certain sound they make, and that's how they communicate. She can access that, but she can't decipher it, and there's no English translation to it, but she can at least communicate with them using that language. Maybe she knows and it hasn't been told to us what she's saying. Because at the end of episode 4, she literally is like talking to the chest burster.
Yeah, and
She's
then
literally
I forget
talking
who
to
it was who said it. It was Boy who asked her what they said, and she said maybe they said to leave us alone or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, and he said, "Is that what they said?" And she said, "I don't know, maybe."
Yeah.
So like, she really doesn't even know. We don't know. Boy doesn't know.
Nobody knows.
These questions need to be answered.
Right. And I kind of hope we don't know.
Ever.
This is
Because I could see the
Episode-
weird thing of giving the aliens, the xenomorphs, more of like not a sympathetic, because I mean they're just
Right.
animals. They're doing whatever they want to do. They're not sinister. They're not evil, but at the same time, they're just animals. They're gonna do whatever. So
Yeah.
even Boy's retort of they do the same thing. They would probably kill us, infect us in a heartbeat. Why can't we do the same and test them?
Right.
Which honestly, can't really argue with that. But
but
at the same
morally,
time,
it's fucked up.
yeah.
Doing all these tests on something you have no idea, who's just trying to live their life. Yes, they are parasitic, but that's all they know. So it's a whole morality issue. But yeah, so now we know why, I guess, the Xenomorph kind of interested in getting closer to Wendy. We don't really know. But then
Yeah.
Wendy fucked the Xenomorph up. She
I thought you were about to
sliced
say
it in
she
half.
fucked the
No.
She fucked the xenomorph.
No. I'm sure there are some locations to where that's comes to fruition.
I doubt it. The xenomorph would just go straight to maybe the queen.
Maybe she is the queen.
That's one of my
She's the
theories, is that
queen.
she's potentially a new queen, because there has to be a queen somehow. But I'm pretty sure I read somewhere in lore. I'm not a huge like deep dive fan of the lore about, but like some xenomorphs kind of just not magically, but they kind of just, one of them just kind of forms like the queen, kind of just like
There's multiple.
just kind of like bees do.
Yeah, there's multiple queens. There's not just one sole queen I've seen in the franchise.
Mhm.
Because at one point it was canon in Aliens, the queen literally died, but then there was another one in Alien vs Predator.
Yeah, they're
There's
kind of just like bees. It's just whatever hive
Yeah.
that they're around.
Exactly.
I'm sure maybe there's different versions of the xenomorph that don't get along. They're
Oh,
like
yeah.
the wasps of the
Yeah.
xenomorphs.
There's different factions, I'm sure, and depending on what kind of DNA you got in you gotta have some rivalry. So, yeah. So basically, in episode 3 is a whole his research and saving mission, to investigate the crash and save all the people that were in it. Turn Velik? Velik? Uh anyway, we're being haunted.
Yep.
So Boy's mission turned into a capture and research mission. He found out all these 5 species that nobody knows, nobody's ever heard of, are available for the taking. There's $1 trillion of research to be made. So he quickly just goes into kid brain. His Neverland project is kind of at his brain. Now he's just focused on this, solely this, and that gets developed further in episode 4. So he's capturing all these things. He's bringing them in. They're doing some searching on them, doing some research,
experimenting.
They're digging in. They're dissecting. They're pulling apart.
And the xenomorph's not the only intelligent alien that they have.
No.
The eyeball.
The eyeball. The T osculus.
That's
T
scary.
osculi. That scene in episode 4 with the sheep. R.I.P. sheep. Can we get an R.I.P. in the chat for the sheep? Sheep did nothing wrong. But
minding its own business.
But you gotta have lambs to the slaughter, right?
Yeah. I like lamb. Have you ever tried lamb?
No.
Sorry for the I do.
You like lamb, but you don't like mashed potatoes.
No.
Needed to cleanse the palate with that take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to episode 3, because this will correlate to episode 4. The hybrids they're developing themselves, and they're getting more mature thoughts. They're realizing what's going on. They're starting to revolt. They're starting to form separate little factions within each other, who to trust, who to not trust, who to believe. They don't know what they are. It's becoming a sense of mortality for them. Who am I? Am I real? Am I actually the same human I was, just in a robotic body? Or am I literally just a synth with an AI, artificial intelligence, that
and even Boy's not
resembles me?
100% clear.
Nobody knows.
It could just be AI, like just pretending, but
Mhm.
they really think that they're human. At least that's what Wendy thinks.
Right.
That's what the other kids think. They still think they're human, but
Mhm.
who knows?
Because they're really not.
And whatever we find out is probably the reason why hybrids are not really a thing in the future.
Yeah, because they're very dangerous. They can think for themselves.
You can pass what's the test? A Turing test.
Yeah.
I feel like synths can. I think synths pass a Turing test though.
Maybe. They're pretty intelligent. They've maybe, after the failed experiments with hybrids, they fine-tuned the synths to elevate them to the point of can't tell, further than what they already are. To mimic
But still
hybrids,
keep them programmable
Yeah.
and obeying whatever faction that they have.
Right.
Also, 5 factions are revealed.
They were always revealed, yeah. But they actually went
No,
more
there
in
was
depth.
only like 3 names in the beginning.
They did name them all.
No.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
They did. But they didn't go into like detail, but they did name all 5.
Oh.
Yeah. Go back
Either
and
way,
look.
there's also 5 different alien species.
Yes.
One maybe whatever we really only know about Prodigy and Utani. So whatever alien represents those, I feel like there could be some type of
It could be.
analogy to each one. Is kind of separate for each specific thing.
It could be. So there's a lot of morality and humanity questions in episode 3 that still progresses to episode 4. A lot of the research we get brought into. Basically, at the end of episode 3, then we'll just jump into 4, because talking about 4 answers pretty much all the questions. So at the end of episode 3, Wendy, we find out she did actually, it was an out-of-body experience. She actually did walk up. She was hearing the face hugger like screeching in pain. So she was drawn to it. She walked into the room where they were doing the dissecting, and she just like passed out. I guess the frequency was too high for her, so it kind of made her
And the
pass out.
closer she got, I think,
The
is
more
what
intense it
said it.
was. Yeah.
Intense.
So at the end, we didn't know if that was real. Was it fake? Was she dreaming? We have no idea. We found out in episode 4, but they took a hermit's lung, and this scene was like pretty bad, as in it's villainous.
I
Obviously,
thought they killed him.
right?
They
It's
took his
villainous.
lung and
So
killed
they,
him.
instead of just fixing his lung, which they totally could have done, they took the opportunity to just yoink it out of him and say, "This is ours now."
Well, they needed a human lung.
Right, to do
So
testing on. So they took his lung, they put the face hugger, the embryo in the face hugger, which turns out to be the alien, in the lung to do testing there to see what's going to happen. And they gave Hermit a fake robot lung. So
yeah,
he's technically a cyborg now, in a way.
technically, yeah.
Technically. And who knows? Maybe they just took other stuff out, and we don't know yet. Maybe he's a lot
They're
more.
selling it on the black
Yeah,
market.
maybe he's a lot more cyborg than you know.
Oh,
Who knows? I mean, who knows what they could have done? They had full reign to replace every organ in his body. Maybe they had the idea to test all the other ones with his
possibly,
other
it's
organs.
possibly a theory that he's maybe more cyborg than he realizes now.
Yeah.
Maybe not Utani. Maybe they definitely tried something. There's the comment by Slightly when they're all hanging out. Why is he here?
Yeah,
Because yeah, he's not like them, but
right.
like maybe that
Could be.
interesting to think about.
Could be. So that's like a little summary of episode 3. Episode 4 is episode 3 extended. It
Pretty
they're
much,
like
it's
one
very
and the
it's
same.
very contained.
Yeah, they're one and the same. A lot of the same issues still reoccur here in episode 4, but they get answered. So we'll jump into that. I will preface this with my personal thoughts. I still think the show, on a technical level, is still out of this world amazing. Sound design, cinematography, color grading, acting, it's beautiful. However, they're getting into territory that I'm skeptical. But I don't know. It depends on how they end it off. But I don't like initially how Wendy can literally communicate with the aliens. I don't think I like
They
that.
gotta they gotta make it believable because like I don't know why if it's a frequency I get it, but still.
But like you can feel sympathy for them because they're just animals, but for you to literally take one in as like a pet, that that's just, and she's like imprinting on it. So that xenomorph fully grown is just gonna be her pet. She's like the mother, a queen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
She's the
That's
queen,
my theory that could be the most likely
and
that
that
she's a
just
queen.
it doesn't jive with me.
Doesn't
It
jive.
just feels like really like it's not believable.
Depends on how the xenomorph is used. If it's used like a pet, like sick 'em,
Like
I
that's
feel like
dumb.
that's dumb.
That's dumb. Like she shouldn't be commanding the xenomorph. Like attack,
It's a peace treaty. They're gonna
yeah.
talk to each other,
But
they're gonna create a peace treaty.
right.
The xenomorphs will no longer use humans as their
Yeah.
eggs.
Clearly that doesn't go well. Clearly.
The peace summit didn't work.
Right. There's a lot of tension in this episode. All of the hybrids, even more than they already have in episode 3, are finally getting a more mature consciousness on what's going on. They're trying to figure out where they fit and making up their own minds whether to still be on Boy's side or completely revolt or just be somewhere else
Yeah,
away from
some of them
this.
have more aspirations than others.
Right. So, for example, Slightly and Morrow, we were introduced in episode 3, that they're kind of forming an alliance against Slightly's will. He doesn't want to because he doesn't want to do ill will against his friends, Prodigy. But since he's a child, Morrow has a child. He knows how to talk to children to easily convince them. Right? He's using childish manipulation tactics. He's like, "Do you want to be the hero? You want to be the hero?
Yeah.
You got to help me out." So he's
But then
Morrow,
also threatening his family.
yeah, which was like insanely smart. So Morrow is using Slightly to get the egg, the alien egg, back to Wayland because that's his life goal. That's his mission. I need to get what we were tasked to do back to Wayland Utani. That's my life.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 65 years doing it. I'm gonna goddamn complete the mission.
It's not going to be a waste.
And I guarantee he will complete the mission. So
Yeah, something
he
something
has to
tells me.
he has to complete it based on lore timeline. So my question to you is, let's play with that storyline. Let's play with each storyline and hypothetically theorize it out. So currently, Morrow tasked Slightly to get the egg and bring it back. He tried that, it didn't work. He's a bad liar. He's a child, right? So Morrow then was like, find somebody
Mhm.
to have the face hugger infect them and bring me the infected person because it'll still yield the same results.
Yeah,
So right away, we were like, all right, who's he going to take?
yeah,
And then further down the episode, he has somewhat of an ill intent towards Hermit.
yeah. His antagonistic approach when he first saw him
Right.
was like he's gonna choose him.
Yeah.
I felt like, and then the lingering fate, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I like the fades. I thought that was very unique and it worked very well to show that they are talking to each other. It gave you the visual. I liked it. That's
A
just
little
me.
iffy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not used to it.
Maybe.
Maybe I was
liked
like
it.
not expecting boring, but I was like, there's a lot of cinematography going on in
There's
these
a lot.
episodes. But yeah, it's like Hermit. My thing is though, but yeah, I mean you have two lungs, right?
Yeah. Two.
Oh, so he has one
One robot lung.
robot. Oh, okay. So then he could still be infected because
He
I
could
don't
be.
know if the embryo for the xenomorph goes to the same spot every time.
I didn't know they went for the lung. Maybe that's the. I didn't know. But I was like, oh, they're putting in a lung. Is that going to yield it more? But maybe they always go for the lung. I don't know.
Because yeah, that's where it's breathing. I thought
Yeah,
when
it does
Wendy
make sense.
was looking inside the tube with his lung, and you could see it like just breathing. I guess it was using the lung to breathe, and that's
Right.
how it was able to sustain itself, and that's how it sustains itself into organisms.
Right. So anyway, sorry, I never asked my question. My question to you is: they heavily hinted that he's stalking Hermit, and we automatically think he's going to take him and try to infect him. Do you think he will?
Wendy wouldn't allow it. I don't think so, but I feel like
But
it's not going to work.
take Wendy out of the equation.
No.
She doesn't know. Obviously, she has no idea. Would
Scotty
he?
doesn't know.
Is he going to go through it, or do you think that's a red herring?
I feel like it's a red herring. I don't believe
Because who else
that
would he
he
take?
will.
Or will he chicken out and not do it?
He's already chicken. I mean, he's chickened out once. Is he gonna chicken out twice?
I don't know if he
I'm
can
kind of
because his
torn.
parents, they're going to be dead.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to emphasize how emotional the hybrids still are.
Mhm.
So something like Morrow targeting his family and threatening them is definitely going to play a factor in how
Right.
these hybrids come into play. And I think maybe he actually will try. Like, will he succeed? I think he will actually attempt.
Or do you think he will attempt to get him, but somebody else is going to get it by accident?
That I feel like it's more likely.
And
I
then,
feel like it's more of an unsuspecting victim that it's going to be. I feel like they've already faked out Hermit dying already. Like, come
yeah,
on, don't do it again.
right. I have another idea for Hermit though, but I'll get into that in a second. What if he Slightly is not tied to anyone specifically human? He's not tied to anybody, so he's not going to care about really anybody. My thing was, what if he was going to infect Hermit, but somehow it attached to somebody that he cared about? That's an interesting idea to really fuck him up. But he's not connected to anybody.
Yeah,
What if
his
somehow
family's not even there.
but what
So
if somehow his family gets there, they find where they are, and it all happens at once?
I don't feel like
Like
that's
that's
gonna.
too much. But
I
I
don't think
thought
so.
that might have been an interesting topic to cover. But
I don't
he
think so.
doesn't care about anybody, so I don't think that'll happen. I There's another thing here, which I think the scene was played out beautifully. It was awesome with the eyeball and the sheep. Clearly, Kirsch. It's now established that this is a like super duper duper highly intelligent alien force. And what
Yeah,
does Boy want?
an intelligent.
Intelligence.
Like I feel like it's a red herring of the xenomorph is what he's looking
Intelligence.
for,
No,
but
he wants the
it's the
eye.
eyeball.
And he knows how intelligent it is because it followed their every single move. It's like studying them. So I think Boy is going to find a human to get infected with the eye so they can actually talk to him. Because humans can talk, animals can't.
Mm-hmm.
If he sees how intelligent this alien is, he's going to find some human to infect Hermit. He doesn't like Hermit. He just sees him as an asset. He's going to infect him, so the alien will communicate in a language he can understand.
Ooh, I feel like maybe we get more of the eyeball in episode 5, or actually let's see it in action, take over a human. But I feel like to mimic a human for a second, obviously the side of the face
it'll
gets
be
destroyed.
Up. Yeah.
So maybe it like pretends by only looking to one side,
Could.
and it fakes out a character.
Like the Thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how cheesy that is. Like the.
But how can that be though? Because the eyeball was contained even when the ship was crashed. They had to get back in there. It wasn't roaming free. If it roamed free,
yeah, it was in the cat. It was in the cat, so it was roaming with the cat.
It was in the cat.
How did it get out?
Somehow during the crash, I guess.
We'll find out.
We
will find those questions. I keep wanting to say answer.
Those questions
because I want the answers.
I'm caught.
I want them answers.
We're gonna get them,
but we're gonna get them every Tuesday.
Get them. So if maybe Slightly is about to, I don't know how those conflicts are gonna clash at some point. Or Slightly knows my only option is literally Hermit or Sylvia, the mom figure. She's not a synth. I think she's a human, along with the scientists, because they're husband and wife.
Maybe everyone who works there's a synth.
Who knows? They can't tell half the time. So he knows. I think at this point, Hermit's the only option. So if that's not an option, what do I do? And I think Boy will intersect Hermit before that can happen. Maybe they put the eyeball on a xenomorph. However, that'd
be interesting.
But xenomorphs don't have eyes.
That's true.
They do not have eyes. They have a skull. But they don't have eyes. They use like what bats use, sonar. I think they have their own. They use the hive mind
type light.
It's the hive mind echo. I don't know what it is, but they don't have eyeballs. So can it be infected? That's a question.
I don't know.
That's a question that we need answered. Will they try it? Maybe.
I feel like Kirsch has his own agenda too.
He definitely does. Because like you said before we started, we hit the record button. You mentioned to me. What did you mention? You mentioned that he's literally Boy and Kirsch and all of the scientists. They can literally watch the hybrids. They have cameras in their eyes and they can hear everything they say. So Kirsch is literally observing, Slightly talking tomorrow. He knows what's going on.
Hence the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Observation. Kirsch is questioning it, but he's just watching it happen. Like he knows, he heard the whole conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Morrow, he knows about Morrow, but he wants to know why.
Yeah,
that's why,
and that's
kind of interesting to think about. Since objectives,
it's their brain.
No matter who they're loyal to, I feel like they're always going to kind of observe and just kind of learn whatever they want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that in, the other Alien movies with Covenant, David and stuff, his xenomorph stuff. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to get into that.
A different topic for a different day. We're focused on Alien Earth, the TV.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Kirsch, he's fascinated. I think he's fascinated with the aliens too. That's the same thing with a lot of synths.
Right.
Other species and stuff.
Plus, to be honest, I don't really think he cares if this whole thing goes sideways, because he's already in conflict with Boy Cavalier to begin with. Maybe he just wants, obviously I think he cares about the whole facility, but Boy specifically, he's starting to get on his nerves. You can tell.
Yeah,
you can tell. So maybe he wants to see this play out, because it could in turn accidentally take out Boy. And I think he will die at the end of it. He deserves it.
I think so too.
It's his character arc. And I think he needs to die by his own creation.
The eyeball.
The eyeball takes him. Yeah, probably. He's so enthused by the eyeball of intelligence. He thinks if he infects himself, he'll be unstoppable. But it just kills him. Careful what you wish for. That's going to be like the message. Yeah, I think.
I feel like maybe the more we learn about the xenomorph, maybe there's potential that they're looking for immortality. They try to use a xenomorph to transfer consciousness. They're the ultimate being, like
perfect organism.
They're the perfect organism. Forget about synths. They're not the perfect organism, because immortality wouldn't be possible unless we include xenomorphs.
The xenomorph with a human consciousness.
Yeah. That's my connection with Wendy being able to kind of connect herself with the hive mind, but I'm not really sure where they're going with it.
Yeah, because it's clearly been shown that Curly, she was in the room when they were doing the frequencies, that she couldn't hear it.
She
So
couldn't hear
it's
it, so
literally
she's
just
specifically special.
it's literally just Wendy, and they said that in the first episode. You're special.
You're
You're very
special.
very special. Why? Was her illness? But her illness is not there anymore. It's the consciousness. Is she so
Because she
much? Is she
believes.
so creative as the child mind that she can tap into other stuff because her creativity allows her to? But she can also translate the language, which nobody else can do. Curly gets pissed off at that because
She gets even more jealous.
she's thrown out. She's not even going to be considered to be number one anymore. So I can speak. You can speak French, but can that? That's all he cares about. Right?
This
The
it really
writing is
really
so
emphasized,
good.
and it was like so. You're like, oh, Curly's gonna do something.
Yeah,
But I feel like, whoa, but you still don't know what
she's gonna.
Curly's plan is.
Everybody's gonna end up trying to overthrow Boy Cavalier at the end.
But yeah, Boy is just like, you thought you were intelligent.
Yeah.
Nah, get out of the
Yeah.
way.
You can learn
Wendy can
French.
communicate with
Right. She can
with
communicate with
aliens.
aliens. She can communicate. She can alter the like the network.
The
What do you
network,
call it?
the
The network
technology,
of
like
the Prodigy Corporation by hacking into it. She's very not normal.
she's not normal for a hybrid. I don't know what Boy is expecting
Right.
from the Neverland experiments, but whatever is happening, Wendy is. It's revolved around Wendy. But why?
Mhm. Yeah. Why?
Why? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Um, it's crazy. The writing in the show is just so good. It's all tying into.
Some people do not like it.
Well, they can die on a hill. So
And roll down.
die on your hill that the show sucks. Give it another
We'll
shot.
we'll play. If we'll eat our words if this whole
It
series
totally,
goes.
it could go to shit real quick.
Yeah, they're teetering on some interesting concepts that like thrown out the wrong way kind of might ruin
It
it.
would cheese it up. Like I'm not denying that this is still very interesting stuff, but seeing it play out might ruin the alien species if they can just be used as pets.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
hope they don't go that route.
like having, and if she's like a queen figure to them, like no, xenomorphs should be able to determine. Again, they don't have eyes, but if it's just a language thing, they could still sense that you're not who I am. You're not me. They don't look alike,
I
in that
mean, I
way.
feel like their language shouldn't be like predator language where they have like a whole linguist type.
If they put subtitles, I'm tapping out.
Yeah, I don't. I
We don't need
really hope there's no
subtitles.
subtitles for xenomorphs, and we
Yeah.
know exactly what they're saying. I feel like I hope we get some of these translations through Wendy, but they're not like spot on. Just like a lot of languages don't correlate specific phrases word by word.
Right.
I feel like that's how it should be,
Mhm.
but it shouldn't be like
A
a whole conversation.
That is just so out there that I don't think that anybody would like that. Interesting, absolutely, but would it work? No. In my opinion, I don't think it would. Then I'd be like, all right. And then this is definitely ruining canon. Again, nobody else has this power, but why introduce it if it's not going to affect the future movie somehow?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this all ties to the whole overall universe.
Right. Because it's a mess. Because, like, he doesn't know really. The director is like, yeah, people don't really care about continuity.
We do.
Yeah, we do. If you make your own thing, but still reference other stuff,
If you say this is a whole separate universe, then that's fine. But don't say it's connected
and then
and it takes
have
place in the past. But then, you guys don't really care about continuity.
Right. It's like, yeah, you are underestimating the mobs that will come your way. Let's talk about Nibs. What's going on with good old?
She's just she's a kid in an adult cybernetic body, and she's just experienced horrendous trauma. That's not going to go well for
No.
a little girl's brain. So the only way I guess she's coping is lashing out, and it's kind of like I think they're like 10, 12. So
Yeah.
like not toddler tantrums, but like
Right.
very young. And I mean, if you've ever interacted with a kid, I mean, they're not very strong. So
Yeah.
give that type of person, a kid, an adult body with extreme strength, they're not gonna know their limits.
No.
They're gonna accidentally do something or intentionally.
Right. So she's definitely coping in her
Hard
own way.
cope.
She can't. She's in denial, right? She can't live with the fact that she's no longer a human. That's all she wants to be is
She
human
wants to go
because
home.
she feels human, but she knows she's not. She was playing with her eye, and she's like, "All right, this is a fake eye. It's not real. Touch it, and it doesn't affect me. I feel no emotion. She just wants to go home." So she's coping by grasping on to life itself by saying, "I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
Like that's the most human, like life in itself thing to create life again. That's what makes you, I guess, in a way, most human, that you can produce more life. So she's obviously she's not. It's literally impossible.
And it's kind
But
of contrasts with, I mean, I'm not sure where they're going with this when I forget the guy's name, but they're the husband and wife.
the scientist guy, yeah.
He told, I don't know why it was really brought up.
Yeah.
I felt like it was an odd comment. He said that he couldn't do anything with his wife to be able to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting where the way Nibs is like, I'm pregnant,
Mhm.
and they're like,
Bitch, you not.
how the hell?
Yeah.
They both looked at each other when she said that,
Yeah.
and I bet the guy's jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. Immaculate conception, she claims. You know, she's
She does.
throwing facts.
She's saying Jesus is in her womb.
She's throwing facts back at Sylvia. I think her name's Sylvia. Silva. Dane Silva? Sylvia? She's throwing the facts back at her. She's trying to explain. She's in denial. Excuse me. That makes her very dangerous. And maybe her, whatever AI synth body they're in, maybe she's like conjuring up a whole bunch of energy because she believes that she is, that it's not going to happen, but
Imagine
it's like it's not going to happen, but
electronic
like
baby.
she
that
feels something because of like the electronics. She's creating some force, maybe.
I think it's like an artificial
Artificial?
artificial feeling.
Artificial.
Artificial. I think it's an artificial feeling because surrounding. I don't want to get too heavy. Just the general topic of
what?
I don't want to. I don't know.
Just say it.
Miscarriages, where after stuff like that has happened, where a mother is kind of feeling some type of way.
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
And it's kind of like also not the same exact thing, but like phantom pain type stuff. Where like,
oh yeah, I think it's like the
that.
post trauma and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like a real thing. So she's definitely dealing with a lot, which makes her very dangerous. However, the only nitpick I'll have in this episode, technically, and it already shows that Boy Cavalier and stuff, they're ignorant to everything. They don't see the actual threat. But if a synth like that, a hybrid with that strength, lashes out at somebody, they would immediately just terminate it, turn it off. For whatever reason, they don't.
Whatever reason they're leaving her. I thought that was exactly what the button was for. Like,
yeah,
terminate this one.
Right. And clearly,
and then they learn about, Nibs was what happened to Nibs.
Yeah.
And that would have been more revolution.
Right.
Of, all right, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
We're done. Because they even categorize it at its own threat level. Like it was a threat level 3. Clearly, they have a protocol here. And if it's that level of a threat, maybe 1 is the most, dangerous. But I feel like you would at least like take her out for a little bit.
Take her out for a stroll.
Do some testing. Find out what switch is loose.
Or walk around the building.
Yeah,
and
take a walk. Look at the flowers. Look at the flowers. Walking Dead style it. Look at the flowers. Oh my lord. Yeah, they're messed up. And they all figured out that they can learn way quicker than a human can.
I assumed that was going to play a part. I was like, there's got to be some way that they're going to just ramp up the learning process of all these hybrids. But the only one we really haven't gotten more in depth is, I forget his name. Smee. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, "Oh, I want to learn too."
He's like, really the only one hybrid that we don't really have like a lot of time with, other than him and Slightly.
Him and Toodles, who is now Isaac. Yeah, he had a focus here of, I can make my own name. I'm changing my name. He wants to be a scientist, so he's learning about the science to intelligence on the science. So they're all learning their own ways. And all Slightly wants to do is go home to his mama,
Mama.
his mommy, whatever he
Mommy.
said, mommy, mama. And he's like, yeah,
Mommy.
you're never going home, ever.
Yeah.
And then obviously we talked about it before, but he's jealous that Wendy has someone, a human that she cares about. My family is literally about to die. Why can't I see them? So there's jealousy there. And then some of the other hybrids are like, I don't want to go home. Look at this second chance we got. They're seeing it as the benefit.
Yeah.
How Boy wants them to see it.
And then Boy trying
conflict.
to say to Wendy, "Oh, your brother could have seen you, but you told her
Yeah.
she was dead. What do you told her she was dead?"
And she knew he was lying too, because obviously Hermit and Wendy had the conversation. How I literally couldn't be there if I wanted to. They literally said I could not go. I couldn't. The Boy was like, no, he was too busy working. He was far away. If I was your brother, I would have been there in a heartbeat. I would have found a way. Clearly, Wendy knows that's not true. So, again, she knew something's up. She's going to turn on him. She's going to do something. And then the manipulation. So
Everyone's manipulating
evil.
everyone.
It's so evil. You know, I'll let your brother stay here if you decipher their language.
Oh yeah,
Because that's all he cares about. Because that's where the intelligent conversation he's dying for is going to come from.
I like how whatever his right hand man, Adam, I think his name is
The bald guy?
Yeah, Adam. I
Yeah.
think that's him.
Oh, with the lung too.
He was talking about the long. Oh, you can work it off. You can work for us.
Yeah.
And I like how after that is the scene where we get where Boy's like, "Oh, we should just send Hermit away." Like,
Yeah.
they already agreed. So I'm
Right.
like, I'm kind of a little. I don't know if it was just like an editing.
I think that's just his manipulation with.
Yeah.
To again for the ending of the manipulation to be like, all right, we'll let him stay, but you got to do this for me.
Yeah.
But she's threatening to, he's threatening to.
And it's kind of he's subtly threatening. He's not saying we should just. I mean, he was just like we
Yeah.
should kick him out. We
Right.
should just. He wasn't there for you.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
But Hermit's gonna die anyway.
Take a drink every time you hear the word manipulation.
Manipulation. I think Hermit's gonna die either way.
Manipulation.
Nipples?
Manipulation.
Manipulation. How about that? It's fucking crazy. This show is so good.
All right, that's the time we have all for today. No.
But it can
I'm kidding.
easily lose me with what they're introducing. I really hope
Yeah, it's ballsy.
they
isn't it?
don't cheese. It's not ballsy unless it works, and we won't find out if it works until episode 6. Probably.
Ballsy.
Not ballsy.
It's ballsy.
It's not ballsy if it doesn't
work. Ballsy doesn't matter. Whatever the outcome is, that doesn't matter. The outcome.
False.
It's literally
That's
in the dictionary.
No, it's not.
It is.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. You tried to prove it the other time and you failed.
Nope.
Ballsy.
So someone's gotta break the ice.
What's your mom sending you?
A cat pic. No, okay.
Ballsy doesn't pay off unless it works. If it's ballsy and it fails, pointless and useless. It's not ballsy.
It's still
It's
ballsy.
Bad.
That's
No.
Ballsy is referring to the action of attempting to do something. It's not about the outcome.
The action has to come to fruition.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No. Ballsy just means tough and courageous. That's all it means. That's all it means. So you would say that it's courageous to try something interesting in a.
Not if you know the outcome's going to be shit.
That's not how that works.
That is how it works.
No.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
No. That's literally contradicting anything.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Settle this for us.
You have your side of the mountain. I have mine.
That's literally facts.
Can't claim something as ballsy. Turns out to be ass and doesn't work. Making whatever the fuck his name, the killer, is not a ballsy move. It was just a stupid move that makes no sense.
It is ballsy.
It's not, because it didn't merit that change.
We gotta break this down because
We gotta. And the
not
next episode is just a debate about what ballsy means. Do we have anything else to talk about Alien? We got so far up. Theories.
I think we actually talked a lot.
I think we did.
Of what we wanted.
Quickly, as of recording this, the trailer for episode 5 came out. This is on a Wednesday, so it came out for you. This is coming out in 2 weeks, this episode. hell of a lot of advance. Episode 6 will be out before this goes out.
Yeah.
Unless we do it earlier. But episode 5 is going to be a whole flashback episode like we talked about. We're going to get all the information on how the Maginot crashed and how everything is went to shit on the ship. We're going to find out.
On the ship.
It's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to that. So that review will come in the near future.
Yeah.
When it airs and stuff. But yeah, like we always say, we're on all the socials. Sorry for the whatever the fuck that was. But that had to come out. So sorry for that, but we're on all the socials. I don't think
when we first brought it up, we never actually like.
No, we didn't. We said we were, and then we weren't.
Yeah.
So we're on Instagram daily with trivia. We got some horror news that we do occasionally, and in our stories, we got some news and facts. Just keep up to date with that. If we can't record an episode when something big launches, we'll put it on Instagram, our quick thoughts. So follow us there. We're also on Threads, where we do a lot of communicating with you personally with our posts. We do polls on there. It's a great community. It's kind of what we wanted the Discord to be, but for now, the Discord is in Threads. And
for whatever reason, or whatever not reason, go ahead and join the Discord. I don't know.
It's open.
If it's not easy for you guys or not, or you guys just don't like Discord. If you guys recommend another thing that's similar to Discord that we could start up, Skype call with the bros.
Yeah.
We do thank you and appreciate you engaging with us in all of our social medias, watching these videos, listening to our debates.
Yeah, maybe there'll be more.
If you do like that kind of content, continue to watch it by subscribing and hitting a notification just so you can get updates on every time we do upload. We upload every Saturday. I don't know, forget what time, like 10 a.m.
12:30.
Oh, 12:30.
Every Saturday at 12:30 we post our main video, and then every day except Sunday we post 3 clips a day from our larger episodes condensed into little clips on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And if they're good enough and they warrant the ballsy reaction, we'll put it on our Instagram story. But Instagram is mainly for the news and the trivia that we do. Each different social has a different aspect that we release information. So keep following there. The best way to let us know what you want to see is through comments. So keep that coming up. We appreciate them. As of recording this, we're at 166 subscribers.
We lost a couple, but it's okay. We go up. Only way to go up.
They weren't, they're trying to be ballsy.
Yeah, they're trying to be ballsy.
So we appreciate all of you that come and stay and watch. It means the world to us, because without you, we couldn't do this.
Make sure you guys are commenting on the YouTube episodes as well.
And the shorts.
It's the best way to kind of engage on those specific topics instead of going all the way to Threads. It's kind of better all in one place so we can kind of start a good community in YouTube.
Yeah, we want to build it up. So look forward to that each week. And I think that's about it. So we'll see you on the next pod.
Ballsy.